To thank some of our community sponsors, the Alphonso Davis chapter of the Tuskegee Airman Incorporated, the Great Plains Black History Museum, Creighton University's Black Employee Network, the Black Studies Program, and QASA, our African American Student Association. I'd like to now introduce Mr. James Beatty, the chairman of the board of the Great Plains Black History Museum.
That's very encouraging. If you had been to the museum, I would have been very surprised because it's been closed since '98. And unfortunately, fortunately, we're bringing it all back. Let me give you a quick 3 minutes here. I am chairman of the board, president of the museum, elected about a year ago and re-elected a couple of weeks ago. I'm really very excited about what's going on with the museum. We feel very strongly that Omaha deserves a first-class Black History museum on par with any other museum in this country. Certainly on par with Jocelyn as well as the Durham Museum. I'm also former chairman of the Durham Western Heritage Museum, now known as the Durham. By the way, you can get things named after you for a few $1 million. So those of you that may have that kind of pocketbook here in mind, that we can gladly call this the Bob Rose Museum for a few $1 million. Our slogan is, the building is closed, but the museum is open, meaning that we want to have programs and activities out in the community so that we can bring the museum to the community. So in your social worlds, your educational worlds, your fraternities, sororities, classes, we are happy to come out and share news with you about the museum. All you need to do is just get a hold of us. Our website is iloveblackhistory.com. That will be changing shortly, but currently it's iloveblackhistory.com, or email us at GPBlackMuseum at AOL. Again, thank you for coming out. If you have any questions about the museum, if time allows for us you to ask them now, but just stop me at any point. I'll be here for the 5 hours that the documentary is going to show. So, and you'll be tested on it later. Thank you very much.
I'd now like to welcome Mr. Bob Rose. He's the president of the Alphonso Davis chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen here, and he provided the film for us. And he's also part of the board.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy that you could come out this evening. I think you'll find this to be very interesting. And I'm going to save most of my comments for the end, when we have a chance to do some question and answer things, if you feel like sticking around. I think one of the main things that you need to know, if you don't already know it, is that LucasFilm, George Lucas, out of his own pocket, spent roughly $58 million to do the film Red Tails. He spent another $35 million to distribute it. So he obviously had a passion for doing this. And I think he did a very good job. Now, the folks that you're going to see in the documentary were the technical assistants, consultants for the film Red Tail. And while they were there, Lucas took the opportunity to press them on their personal lives and their personal relationships and how they fared with fighting the double war. The double victory actually relates to the fact that they were fighting discrimination, segregation, et cetera, at home while exchanging bullets overseas. So we have a local chapter here, and some of you in the room will probably recognize one of the faces on the screen. It's Lieutenant Colonel Charles Lane. You'll see the names. The names will be on the screen. But Colonel Lane retired from the Air Force in 1970 and came out into Omaha and really contributed. He was head of GOCA for a number of years, and he's still here. Unfortunately, this time of day, he doesn't do very well, so I wasn't able to get one of the originals here. We do have 3 original Tuskegee Airmen who are still residing in Nebraska, 2 in Omaha, 1 in Lincoln. And they've all made their mark, but not only in the military, but in civilian life also. We just lost Lieutenant Colonel retired Harry Tall, who became a school teacher, and he taught at Berkheim 2 scholarships for Burke County students. So these are folks, for you who may or may not, who may be history buffs, I think this will be a real treat. I really think it's better to see the documentary before you see the movie, then you can put things in perspective. But regardless, I think you should see the movie. So I'll be here for the end, so if we have any questions, we can chat.
Tell me what you thought about Double V.
I thought it was awesome, and actually it gave me a heads up on I went to see the movie Red Tail afterwards, and so it was great to see that movie, the documentary, before I saw the movie, because it made me understand it a little bit better. So it was wonderful. I thought it was awesome.
Great documentary. It was very passionate. I learned so much. I'm a historian, and there were things that I didn't even know, and so it was a great movie. We loved bringing it to Creighton, and we just wanted to thank everyone for just making it available.
It's a great reminder of the legacy of African Americans in the military and the tremendous contribution they made to the war effort, and oftentimes it's forgotten or overlooked or redacted, and we need to have more pictures like that again remind us of our tremendous history and contribution to the history of this country.